Good evening, everyone. This is the Selkuth Horizon fireside chat. So we decided to kind of mess around with a podcast, and release them when we're at camp and we're fireside. As many other campers do. Everyone kind of has that chat around the fire pit, and we decided why not make something of it. We'll try a podcast just to elaborate a little more in detail over certain topics, or just share with you guys memories we've had or we currently are having. So yeah, that's what this is all about. So we're gonna get started on the first episode, covering basically the foundation of our of South Horizon. Where did this all start? How? Why? And yeah, so we'll take it away, Vic. Let us know, man. How did this get going?
So this goes way back when we were into cars. We were actually heavily into modifying mostly import cars. I had like a couple Mustangs, but we were heavily into that, and we formed a group, arbitrary method, and yeah, so it was just a group of friends, and so we were into that for a while, and I was into cars since I was 16. I watched Fast and Furious and got all into it, and obviously met Joel, and we got into cars, and from there, me and Dorian, the one with the Tacoma, was one day we were just like, you know what? We were both into quads heavily as well. For a while, we had quads and we used to go off roading. So we said, you're not down to get some 4x4 SUVs. So, and it started off as a joke, and before you know it, I sold my Mustang at the time, and I bought a Land Rover Discovery.
That's like the grown up I triple dog dare you.
Yeah, it
and
is.
You guys totally bit the bait.
So it started off as a joke, and Julia was totally for it. She's like, yeah, let's do it. So I was like, all right, you know what?
It was random.
It was super random, but
I remember it clearly. It was like late at night in the kitchen in our house, and we just were like, yeah, let's just sell the cars and get an SUV.
Keep in mind,
Dorian was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it too, and I was like, okay.
I guess
now keep in mind, we were very, very into cars, so it was taboo to even consider selling the car to get something other than an actual car, whether it be import, domestic, it didn't matter, but a car you planned on modifying, not a truck, not an SUV. So it was kind of like I said, it was foreign, and it was just unheard of. It's like, nah, it was like the ultimate rule you didn't want to break, because it's like we were also bonded by that. We all enjoyed our hobby of tuning, modifying, cruising, meets. Hanging out at someone's house, whoever it would be. There'd be like 7 or 8 cars just lined up outside, and yeah, it was just, that's what we did. That's just kind of how we had fun.
had barbecues and stuff, and it all was based like around the whole car culture. It was just us, It's just a bunch of friends with that were into cars hanging out, and and it started like that, and me and Dorian he actually at the time, he bought he bought an Xterra. He bought an Xterra. Yeah, that's right. He bought an Xterra, and I bought the Land Rover, and we did what we called off-roading at the time.
Was the hills.
Yeah, it was a little hills.
Was it called the hills, or what is it called right there by Butcher Jones? What is it called?
It was just like at least it's closer to Sycamore Creek, but it's like some regular, like super basic hills, and we're super excited. We had our GoPro 2s out, and so we, at the time, and we were, we were all excited, and after that, I kind of, discovery, reliability issues, so I sold that to an unfortunate soul. And I love the Disco. I really do. I still love them. It's just if they were more reliable, I'd definitely have one. But after that, I think that's when I sold the Discovery, and I bought I think it was the Grand Cherokee. Yeah, it was a WJ, and then Dorian also did the same thing. He got his Grand Cherokee. We both got WJ. So after that, we kept going into the whole off-roading thing. Meanwhile, I think you started looking into them, right?
So it started gaining traction because, even when we had the cars, we would still camp quite a bit. We enjoyed our camps. We weren't as aggressive. We wouldn't get into these back country roads or anything primitive. It was more so, a paved campground but we still enjoyed the hobby, you know, and it was growing more and more on us. Like we enjoyed when it was getting hot in Phoenix. We definitely like to head up north, escape for the weekend, but we did it with the cars. It was just we were doing it so much more frequent that it started kind of rubbing off onto the rest of us that hey, you know what? Kind of like the idea of an SUV now. Like
Yeah.
we need the space, comfort, and we can go other places that aren't so crowded or so common. And from there on, I'm telling you, they planted the seed, and it slowly it just started spreading to the rest of us like the plague. And then that's when I started hunting down my rig. I didn't have a lot of money, so I was like, well, I gotta get something, a project. So I settled for a '91 XJ, a Cherokee XJ. Got it in Tucson for about 800 bucks, and yeah, did a lot of work on it. Learned a lot about the car. Learned that I didn't enjoy working on it as much as I enjoyed it itself. But it did give me some very good memories, and it showed me a lot about off-roading, and it was a fun car to drive when it, like I said, when it was working.
And I mean, coming from our cars, I mean, we can't leave anything alone.
Yeah.
We can't leave anything stock. You know, then came the lifts and all kinds of stuff that we were just we just wanted. We like modding things and we like seeing them how we can make them better in a way. Sometimes worse, but for the most part, we made them better and. I don't know. It's just yeah. I think that all stemmed from like the whole car thing, the whole car scene where we would mob them and get together. And the same thing happened with like our SUVs, our 4x4s. It's just we still do it. We get together, we mob them, and we go out. And the fun part about the whole SUV thing is that you can go out and test what you just did for the most part.
Yeah.
So it's that I like that a lot. Where the car thing, you can only test what you did, but you can only either do it at the track.
Yeah.
Or,
There was a little more
options.
restrictions, you know what
Yeah,
I
for
mean?
sure.
It was definitely a little more challenging. But also just kind of rewind there. When we got into the car scene, when it got a little more serious for us, you know, and since we found a more dedicated group, we started trying to find a way to make ourselves, I don't know, I guess stand out. Car clubs were a thing.
Yeah.
They
Yeah,
still
they
are,
still
but they
are.
were big. And, you know, it was kind of one of those things where if you didn't associate yourself with the club, it almost felt like you were an outcast. So it was like, you know what? We didn't care to be a part of other clubs that people already had, but we wanted our own. Something where people can recognize us. And that's where we started coming up with names. And we ended up with Arbitrary Method
Yeah.
is what we started. And we tramp stamped every vehicle
Oh, of
we could
course.
find that was ours.
We went to the mall and we got stickers made at the little booth.
And we're
And
proud,
yeah,
huh?
yeah, oh yeah, for sure. We're proud of that name and we designed the sticker and everything, and we're really proud. And and from that, it just kind of stuck the whole group thing and putting a name to it. And from there, when we got our SUVs in the beginning, for just a little bit, we were arbitrary. We went from Arbitrary Method to Arbitrary Overland. And we were just that for a bit, and we were into, I had traded my WJ for a YJ Wrangler at the time, and you still had your
The
your
XJ.
XJ, and Dorian has his WJ. But we used to do more. We used to do off roading. We used to do some trails, and so we came up with a name with for that, and then we changed a bit. Some people went a little bit different ways. Some people got cars again, and then but I feel like we stuck with it pretty good.
Yeah,
I mean,
we stuck with it. It's just, I started throwing around the idea for myself that I just needed a different platform to build off of because I was really enjoying the hobby and I wanted to continue to grow in the hobby and challenge myself in different ways and learn different things. But that platform particularly was holding me back. It was definitely a, I don't want to call it a burden, but it felt like a burden sometimes. I couldn't trust it to drive certain distances without worrying about if it's in a breakdown, what's going to happen next, what's going to ruin my trip. So the only logical thing was to sell it. And I was starting to go back in the market, look for something more reliable. But yeah, I mean, I went from solid axle to IFS with the 4th Gen 4Runner, which was a big change. I almost had to relearn how to navigate, how to pick better lines according to this, different suspension setup. And it was fun though. I mean, I enjoyed that. I was able to relearn the vehicle and just kind of just have more knowledge about it. And I'm still learning. I'm not a pro by any means, but I'm just saying it was a learning curve. But I've had it for a while, maybe a little over a year now, a year and some change.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah,
going
yeah. Go on.
going on 2 almost, but about a year and a half roughly. But and I got it with like 130 something, and it'll on this trip it'll break 170. So we've driven the living crap out of it, and it's fun, and it has been a great vehicle. So that's why I'm shifting my direction and taking this one more serious as far as my build goes, because it's the platform I want to stick with. It's what works for me. But yeah, that's kind of what happened with that.
Yeah, and I think for me it's I'm super indecisive. I'm a super indecisive person, and I went through a couple rigs before, a couple vehicles before I made up. I mean the Jeep bug bit with the Wrangler, with the YJ, and then from there I sold the YJ around the same time you sold your XJ. The whole thing was for us, we wanted to do longer trips other than just local camping. We wanted to do multi-state, and we wanted to do just longer trips, and we wanted something reliable. My Jeep didn't have AC at the time, and then it was a 4-cylinder.
And it was a dog, man. That thing
was a
dog.
4-cylinder 5-speed. grinding just gears everywhere. The tranny was just old. I mean, I was racing semis uphill. So, and then, imagine that loaded up. So I was like, I sold it. I mean, I went back and forth on selling it for a while, and I finally sold it with the intention of upgrading to a JK, because I wanted something new. Same thing, I wanted something newer, something bigger. Yeah, true, because that thing was small. We packed the crap out of it.
Tetris,
yeah,
loading it
every
up.
time. And then if we decided to take somebody, it was horrible to pack everything. And from there, I kind of sold the YJ and took a little hiatus from everything. And then I randomly picked up this Montero from my cousin. So
the most randomest purchase that so happened to be an opportunity.
Yeah.
It was like without thinking, it just so happened to fall in his lap, and it's like suddenly, it was like, all right, got to do this. And I was like, so you want to go check this Montero out with me? I'm like, for what? Like, just to go look at it? Or we're gonna go like tire kick or something? He's like, no, we might get it. I was like, no way. So it was just like, all right, let's do it. We needed to get back into the scene again. It had been too long. He was a passenger for too long.
I was definitely missing it. I was tired for Cobalt, and then, I had the Montero for a while, and then from there it kind of started giving me problems. I mean, it has 280,000 miles or so.
I gotta mention, you took that thing all through Utah, though.
Okay, I did do a road trip through Utah and multiple trips. It's been good to me. It has really. And then, I mean, it's old. So I thank you. I started looking at other things. I love the Montero, but yeah, I wanted just something newer, because it's a 1990, so I mean, after a while, just kind of looking around, I got Copilot again for a passenger for a while. Came up upon, I was like, what, I've always wanted a JK, so I'm gonna get one. I'm gonna get a JK. And I think that happened randomly too. Like it was
another very random.
Yeah. So I mean, and I'm in love. I mean, I love my Jeep now. It's just, I don't know. It has everything that I want, and I like. Pretty much it's a vehicle that I've always wanted and want to invest money in. And I know Jeep isn't. It has its little quirks of owning a Jeep, but I love it. It's a. But yeah, so it's, and from there, I mean, I think we'll continue. We're looking forward to doing more trips with these two.
Yeah. So like I said, once we got the cars upgraded, and we started changing kind of our interests, where it wasn't always just off-road trails, it was more so like exploring other areas that weren't just readily available on on a map or something. We kind of had to play with Google Maps and other methods of tracking areas, and we would just kind of pinpoint, make our own little trails, and that was just kind of start the overland, I guess if you want to call it, approach, where we would just kind of go explore, not just off-road and obstacles. It was like a combination. We still liked that, but we wanted to add more variety. So with the changes that we saw coming, we're like, you know what? I think it's time to revamp. It was one time at your house, out of nowhere. It was just a random day we went and hung out for a while.
Yeah.
And then suddenly it was like, you know what? Why don't we start a YouTube channel? It was literally that random.
We always talked about it with when we had the arbitrary overland.
Yeah, and it was just random talk. It was just kind of one of those talks you have. it's not really serious, but it's like, oh yeah, one day that would be cool, kind of thing. You know what I mean? So that day we sat and we're like, you know what, we should do it, like legit, do it, and make this channel. So that's what we did. We hopped online, and right then and there we were like, all right, cool, let's do this. And we were all excited and everything. And then it came to the name, and we're like, everything came to a halt, and we're just staring at each other and like, so what are we gonna call ourselves? We're not. We didn't want to do the. We didn't want to bring over the arbitrary overland.
Fresh. We want to start fresh, like completely just, blank slate, just start fresh. So yeah, we started. Joel was pretty much responsible for coming up with the name, and we were hitting roadblocks as far as thinking of a name because we don't want to be the usual something insert name here overland, because it's
or off road, or 4x4 or whatever.
Yeah, that's not what we're into, we like to. It's a lot of it, but we like doing a bunch of other stuff too. We have other hobbies within hobbies, so it's just we wanted something that could be broad and just be able to, so we can just be able to work with it and be able to provide just kind of a mixture of content and the stuff we like doing involving similar things.
Yeah, that's kind of when I was thinking of the name, that was kind of something I wanted to do. I wanted to kind of separate ourselves from the large mass of people, like Victor said, adding overland or off-road or 4x4 or club or whatever after their names. I wanted something unique, something different, and something that didn't have something attached to it, so we didn't have to meet a criteria. It was more so, hey, we really enjoy this hobby. We really enjoy, hiking, exploring, random things, traveling. So why don't we find something that fits everything but doesn't generalize us into one? And that's what I did. I just started tinkering with names and found that, and yeah, it worked. We liked it, and then we were set. From there, we were excited that day. I remember we made it, and we felt like we were already at we had a fan base already. We were already seeing all these ideas of what we were going to be and stuff. We were thrilled.
Well, and we sold it hard to our group of friends. So we got them into it. So of course,
we did. Our pitch was pretty serious. Like, we were not laughing.
It was during a guys trip
during a fire. It was a fireside chat.
Like, we have to talk with you guys about something we've been thinking about.
And we weren't laughing. It was serious. Yeah. Our tones were really, really cut through.
Business-like.
Yeah, we were like, you know what? We're going to do something big, man. And we really want you guys to be a part of this. But we need you guys to be a little more serious when it comes to this. Like, we're not joking. Like, although we want to have fun with it, like, we have something bigger in store for it. We really want something else out of it other than just, okay, cool, upload a random video here and there, and it's fun. Like, no, we really wanted to elevate this to something big. And although it's not there yet, I feel like we're definitely working towards that with what we do. We've been a little more productive this year, which was a big goal of ours, right?
It's
Come
been
January.
Yeah, the whole thing's been a learning process, honestly. It's just from editing videos to just being in front of the camera. It's super weird at first. Even I'm not comfortable fully with the camera at all. So it's just, I don't know. It's definitely it has been a learning process, and at the beginning of last year when we started, we kind of threw a few videos there, and we took a pretty long hiatus.
Yeah, and large gaps, like months in between.
And honestly, and some people even went back to like cars, and like we kind of broke off. Like, the group kind of got a little smaller, and ended up being, I think, just me and you for the most part.
For a while.
And then starting in January, me and Joel talked, and we're like, you know what? We really want to push ourselves this year. We want to release more content, more quality content. I'm learning how to edit and learning, even down to like what people want to see, because it's everything. It's a science. There's a science to it. So yeah, and I think that's our goal for this year. Keep pushing, and I hope we gain more traction, and I hope we're putting out good content, and we can't know without people commenting. It's if you guys can comment and tell us what we need work on, or what you want to see, whatever it may be, any suggestions. And our channel is, like we said, we built it to be a mixture of different things, so it doesn't just have to be you know, off-roading or whatever. It can be, you know, it's a relatable outdoors, you know, channel for the most part. And I think we can. I mean, if you guys have any suggestions, we're definitely open ears.
Yeah, and then you know, I know there's always changes that happen in groups. Like for once, one came recognizing the fact that we weren't off to a good start and we need to reevaluate our approach, and we did, and things changed. We took it a little more serious. It slowly started growing, but then we recently came to another, you know, another decision to reevaluate our goals, our personal goals, the goals as a group, and then just a goal as a channel and what it really means and what really do we want to do with this at the end of the day. So we had to sit there and kind of really go over that, you know, what is going to be next, you know, for Selkuth Horizon, and we were having a lot more fun. We were definitely getting more involved with the editing, a little more involved with the storytelling, the timeline, but there always felt like there was a missing link, and we figured out that it was just we were trying to create our own thing because we were both interested in our own approach, and we were thinking that, hey, you know, we'll each contribute, and that's how we'll make this channel work. Well, it wasn't really working really effectively the way we imagined it. It worked here and there, but it wasn't something long term. So, like I said, part of that reevaluation was realizing that we needed to work as a unity, as you know, as partners, and really put our ideas together instead and present the content together, because, you know, you're each other's eyes. You basically like proofread your videos, make suggestions. Sometimes you might think of ideas the other person doesn't. It might come sporadically or whatever, but so definitely I personally am really excited for the next half of the year, just because I feel like we're gonna make a growth in our channel. There'll be a growth in our professional approach, and just the delivery. It's gonna be a lot more consistent. It's gonna be a lot better, and it's gonna have a larger variety in terms of like how it's delivered and how it's presented. So I'm stoked.
Oh yeah.
I'm excited to see what the end of the
same
year.
here. I mean,
By the end of the year, I'm excited to see where we get with
Yeah,
this.
for
You know,
sure.
how we
I mean-
stand and where we stand and how we've grown, how we've
Yeah,
changed.
exactly. I mean, and seeing it just, I mean, it's still a learning process, seeing what works and what doesn't. And I hope there's I mean, on top of all that, I hope there's just a good flow to our channel, and I think, you know, I'm excited. I'm
Yeah.
definitely excited.
And I mean, we can only do that with you guys. So please,
Yeah.
if you guys continue to support our channel, we appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
If you guys continue to give us suggestions, I like to think of myself as being open to criticism, both good and bad, because that's the only way you'll know if what you're doing is working or if it's, you know, appealing or not. So by all means, I love reading what you guys have to say. So drop it by on our videos, or, you know, just tune in, share with your friends, family, whoever. We appreciate every kind of support, both good and bad, honestly. So
And me and Joel go through every comment and look, because I mean, we're just starting and we want to see what you guys have to say. So yeah, definitely. I mean,
And as always, I mean, I know you don't see them a lot in the videos now, but that's going to change as well, right? Our wives. You know, my wife's in the car right now with the baby. There's a lot of mosquitoes out here. We're out here. By the way, just so you guys know what our backdrop is around here, we are actually near Alta Lakes here, a few miles south of Telluride in Colorado, on day one of our road trip that we've been planning for a while. So you'll be seeing more of our road trip in videos. We're starting a little mini series, so please stay tuned for that and watch that. We'd appreciate that. So we're gonna approach it differently as well. Do more of a miniature series and see how that works. See if you guys like it. I mean, I think it'd be better for longer trips like this, especially if they're continuous.
Yeah.
You know, but yeah, we hope to have our wives in here a little bit more, because they do give us quite a bit of feedback, and it helps because we don't always see everything, and it's nice to have an outsider's perspective sometimes towards what we're doing or our ideas, and they make suggestions for us. Like Julia here's been pretty helpful to us, and she's made her few comments. And it's funny sometimes, you know, and the one I always tease her about is definitely sound like yourself.
Yeah.
I was doing a tire review video, and she was in the living room next to us with Victor. They were over hanging out with me, and I was recording the Milestar Patagonia review, and I'm over here doing takes, trying to find the right rhythm for the intro. I don't want to sound like my normal self in terms of like I just want to sound calm. I wanted to sound excited because it was exciting for me. So then out of nowhere you just hear "sound like yourself," and I'm like, really? Like, come on, man!
Yeah,
It was just like so random.
That's a constant comment, and it's true. It's true because we take it. I mean, like I said, we take it our channel. We take it seriously. So we try to sound professional, but you guys don't get to see us like what we are. We're not professional at all by any means.
Nah, we're not, and we're not trying to be professional
not.
with
It's
ourselves
just,
in terms of like. I mean, when I say that, don't get me wrong. I don't mean that we're inappropriate or we're like bad mouthing people in public. Not that kind of professional, but we're not suit and tie when we do this. We're not sitting here thinking like, oh, I got to prepare myself for this job interview. We want to be more relaxed. I mean, it's supposed to be fun for us, not so uptight. We want to be a little more creative in a professional way with the way we present things and how things look, but not ourselves. Like we want to keep ourselves as natural as possible.
Sometimes it's hard to get those two, the difference between those two between like giving out like a professional grade content to actually being too professional yourself, like too monotone or something. You
develop like a second persona almost.
Yeah, it's good to a certain extent, but at the same time, like it's you want to be personable. You want you guys to see us, and because like I said, we're not, we're goofballs. We don't.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I mean, come on, like, if whoever truly is interested in our channel is interested in what we do and why we do it, and who knows, maybe some people are interested in us. If we put on this fake persona, well, that's not really who we are. You know what I mean? So. We just wanted to make sure we came off a little more natural. This is who we are, and this is what we do, and these are the silly things we say and think of. So, it's business when you need to, but definitely not presenting business like
a
quality
mullet.
or content. That's right.
Go
ahead, take it away. Describe like a mullet.
Yeah.
Business.
Or like the mullet. Yeah, business in the front, party in the back. So. So consider us the mullets of outdoor channels.
You better hope nobody catches on to that and starts referring to us that way if they ever meet us.
Right,
like,
exactly.
Hey, look, it's those two guys, the mullets of off-roading or the outdoors.
This gets enough likes. I'm just kidding. I'll grow a mullet.
Right?
I'm just kidding. No,
I'm
not going to grow a mullet. I'm not going to grow a mullet.
Oh, man. So a couple of the other ideas we've tossed around, like I said, sometimes we like to think, well, at least I do. I mean, I would say it's similar. We like to think kind of big. And although like I said, I know we're still kind of a smaller channel gaining traction, but I feel it's always good to have some kind of a goal and something to look after because it keeps you wanting to develop. It keeps you wanting to grow, to reach that status or that milestone you set for yourself or whatever. But I mean, I missed this last Overland Expo 2019. I had to work. It just wasn't working out. But I did attend the other one 2018 and it was fun. And one idea we've tossed around casually would be that, like, how cool would it be if sometime we attended an event like that? Not necessarily just Overland Expo, but an event that has to deal with vendors, has to deal with people that are bigger with their YouTube channels and are now like someone that is recognized by the community. And it sounds fun. So who knows, man? Maybe someday, I don't know. If you guys do see us though, and you guys recognize, say hi. Sure. I mean, I'd be more than happy to spark a little convo with you guys. If you guys recognize us on the road or saw us, just get a wave. Just be like, hey, how's it going? Something like that. But definitely don't be shy. The smoke is killing me.
Holy, yeah. God.
Jesus.
Okay. I think it's telling us that it's time to sum it up, and yeah. So I think we're gonna try and do this, do a fireside chat every other Friday, and I mean it'll be a little different. This is just kind of an intro, and we wanted to tell you guys about us and kind of get a bit more personable and how we started and all that. So, but coming up, we want to do different subjects. We like to talk about our buying stuff on a budget. Sometimes we'll get into conversations where it's like, this would be a good conversation to not just have between us, to have other people and see what other people think about it, because at least I think we get into some pretty good conversations about some technical stuff to just some random things. So
yeah, and we don't know everything, so we're learning.
Oh,
so
of course,
if someone that does know something and we don't,
school us.
yeah, exactly, teach us. right? We're not here to say we know everything. We want to learn. That's the point of this. So yeah, that's why we thought this would be a good idea. Like he said, the first video. This is just an introduction to this, but future videos will have more topic specific.
Yeah.
Criteria and
it won't be as long.
conversations.
I don't think unless it's
flowing good.
I think the going is good. Then yeah, but yeah, I mean it's
just supposed to be talk amongst some regular guys enjoying the hobby. No one's claiming to be a professional in anything or be someone with a lot of knowledge over these particular things. We're always just wanting to learn. That's it.
Yeah, exactly. So
yeah.
and then we'll have the rest of the guys that you guys seen in videos maybe join and kind of give their input because everybody has a the saying. But yeah, everybody has an opinion. So yeah, so I'm definitely looking forward. Again, tell us. I mean, give it, even suggesting topics. It doesn't,
Yeah.
What do you guys want to hear? What do you guys want to talk about?
Yeah, for sure. And we'll be starting. If you guys haven't already, and you'd like to, please add us on Instagram. We were thinking of also doing live videos, and not over stuff like this, but more so like when we're out, like on this road trip, for example. And we're somewhere nice, and we just want to give you guys an update where we're at, and you guys maybe want to have a little convo with us or something. We'll be doing that too. So yeah, if you haven't already, check us out on Instagram, and yeah, stay tuned for those. Those should be kind of fun and interesting. That way you guys can ask us in the moment.
Exactly.
Regarding whatever, So yeah, all right.
Well,
cool.
Good night, guys. It's getting cold.
Yeah, it is. And the mosquitoes finally calmed down.
Yeah, that's a good thing.
That is.
Actually.
So we've been up since 4 and 3:30 in the morning or 3 o'clock. So
3 o'clock in the morning.
We're winding down really quick.
But like 2-3 hours of sleep. So yeah. So.
Alrighty, guys.
All right. Till next time.
Till next time, man. Take care.